Okay.
What is federal work study? Surprisingly, a lot of people aren't that familiar with the impact it's actually had over the past few decades. Actually, the impact it's had, such as providing students in several different ways to actually reduce the cost of tuition, as well as other debt even after they graduate. Now, going back in history, there was actually a bill called the Economic Opportunity Act in 1964, which was passed by President Johnson as well as his administration. Basically, it has one of the ways when they decided to declare a war on poverty. Basically, according to President Johnson, he believed that students after graduating from college did not deserve to have that amount of debt has occurred into them like once they actually start their professions. So as one of the ways, he decided to actually provide college-sponsored employment in order to help several students from lower-income families to reduce that amount of debt. And now, today, over 50 years later, there's actually over 3,500 colleges around the country that actually offer the federal work study package as part of their financial aid. Now, however, there are a few different ways, a few important points to take in mind when obviously applying for this program. For example, similar to FAFSA, there's obviously going to be like secondary sites or scam websites that you definitely don't want to fall victim for. So therefore, it's very important to actually apply for the program directly through the FAFSA website. Another second point is actually to compare your work-study program package in regards to like any other types of grants or loans, etc., that your colleges might deliver to you as part of your overall student aid package. Now, who's actually eligible for this? Obviously, I'm sure like, such as myself, there's like, most of the people in here might be eligible as well, as long as you're an undergrad or a graduate student who's obviously attending a public or a private college or a university, and along with that, you actually come from a lower income family, you're obviously eligible, so it's pretty simple. My second main point is actually the positive impact that the federal work-study program has had in reducing tuition even today. Now, in regards to different areas of employment that it offers, once you receive your package, you actually have the opportunity, the option really, whether you wish to work either a different job on campus, anything regarding field work in your major, or even a job in relations to community service. It is, however, required to work a minimum of 18 hours, but you cannot exceed 40 hours, obviously, which would actually be considered the maximum, since you don't want to exceed overtime. Now, there are also different types of benefits that are offered, along with certain perks. Personally, what I found to be very interesting was, unlike other types of student aid, such as the Pell Grant or direct loans, the federal work-study program is also available even if you're only a part-time student. It's not necessary to be a full-time student just to be eligible for this. Secondly, you have the option to work either off-campus if you don't feel comfortable working either on campus or regarding any community service work or so forth. And lastly, regarding the payments, it actually does vary depending upon the amount of financial assistance you might need, along with the hours that you might put in at a job, or depending on what type of job you're actually working at in the first place. But at least 5% of your income should go towards covering any educational expenses, especially tuition, textbooks, and so forth. It can actually range from, it does obviously get paid on an hourly basis, somewhere between $8.75 an hour up to $20 an hour, which I think is actually a very good thing. I'm sure a lot of people can definitely benefit from this, of course. And overall, I believe that since that is a pretty good amount, it can actually cover up to 50% of a student's tuition overall. All right, thank you.